My name is Joe Fletcher, and I am the co-pastor and co-founder of Infinity Bible Church in the Bronx.
Hello, Joe. Nice to meet you.
I've been following with great interest the controversy that has been brewing regarding transgenders shopping at Target and using any bathroom they want, either the men's or the women's bathroom.
Just a small point. Transgender is an adjective, not a noun. In case you missed it at school, this means that the word transgender describes an attribute of something, rather than denoting the thing itself. But anyway, go on.
Here's a statement that Target has put out recently. Inclusivity is a core belief at Target. It's something we celebrate. We stand for equality and equity and strive to make our guests and team members feel accepted, respected, and welcomed in our stores and workplaces every day. We welcome transgender team members and guests to use the restroom or fitting room facility that corresponds to their gender identity. Unquote.
Sounds good so far. I can't see why anyone would have a problem with that.
Here's the problem. In an effort to make transgenders, which by the way represent less than 1% of our population, so in an effort to make the transgenders feel accepted, respected, and welcomed, Target has made many of the rest of us feel unaccepted, disrespected, and unwelcomed.
Oh, how awful for you. Could you just remind me how Target's policy actually affects you?
The reality is I don't want a biological female walking into the restroom, into the men's restroom when I'm using it. And I don't want a biological male walking into the women's restroom when either my daughter or my wife are in there.
But why not? If this hypothetical transgender person used the restroom quietly, causing no problems, why would it matter to you?
It's just creepy.
Here we have the heart of the matter. If you think that the mere act of somebody using the restroom is creepy, maybe your creepometer is out of whack. Or maybe your issue stems from a prejudice. It seems to me that you're pretty uncomfortable with the existence of transgender people, and ironically, this isn't about their feelings, it's about yours.
And me saying that it's creepy doesn't make me a bigot. It's just creepy.
But why is it creepy? What makes it so? You don't seem to have an answer to this. You're reacting based on an irrational, emotional response, but you're not providing an argument.
And I also don't want some 16-year-old young man with raging hormones walking into the women's restroom as some sort of weird prank, or just because he's 16 and he wants to, as we used to say, quote, sneak a peek, unquote.
I don't know where you're finding your 16-year-olds, but I'd argue that almost all well-adjusted adolescent boys won't be spending their days going into women's bathrooms and committing acts of voyeurism. Either way, those who do should still be punished, the same way that they are now.
So what do we do? Those of us who believe in traditional values, what do? Here's a couple ideas.
Oh, this should be good.
Number one, the easy one is to go to afa.net and sign a petition telling Target that you will boycott shopping at their stores until they change their crazy bathroom policy.
Okay, fair enough. That is a pretty reasonable response to the situation.
Number two, and this is a lot more controversial, and I'm not saying I'm going to do it. In fact, I will not do it. But it's just a thought. What if males all over the country went to different Target stores, walked into the women's restroom? They'd have to send a female scout in ahead of them, making sure there's no one in there to start with. Walk into an unoccupied female restroom, and then just start singing, I feel pretty, I feel pretty.
So what you're saying is that your grand plan for preventing creepy men from going into women's bathrooms is to tell men to act creepy in women's bathrooms. Can you see my problem with this?
When the manager comes by and asks you what is you feel your gender identity is, you simply respond, I believe you are discriminating against me by even asking the question.
Target's policy doesn't allow for lunatics singing in bathrooms. Target's policy simply says that people should be allowed to pick the bathroom that they feel most appropriate for them.
The reality is this, probably the vast majority in our country are that believe in traditional family values.
Well, that is nice and ambiguous, as well as, totally unprovable.
And this is a good example of political correctness gone amok. But the reality is most of us who believe in these traditional values don't generally fight back. We're lovers, we're not fighters. I think unless we want all of our traditional values stripped away from us, it's probably time for us to start fighting back.
A noble sentiment. At least it would be if it wasn't total bollocks. This isn't the battle between traditional values and political correctness. This is, and has always been, about equal access to public toilets, and your attempts to demonstrate otherwise do nothing but cast a light on your bigotry. If you'd like to see the full video, a link's in the description. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.